Won't you try singing this with me? Goes up. There. This nigun is called Hashalom Aleichem, which means peace be unto you, O Shabbat angels. It's a symbol of everything that we need to shed from the week and the peace of Shabbat, this special day that only happens, 52 times a year. But it's our most special day of the year. Did you know that? It is, and we get to do it 52 times a year. So that peace, let it enter our souls and our space. Let's take a deep cleansing breath. And the next one, when you let it out, let it be in song. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but there's no place to hide. If you don't sing, I'll know it. And I know that you like to sing. Let's try it together one more time. Ooh, I like that. How about some more? I invite you to open your prayer books and turn to page 128. 128, Hine Matovu Manaim. How beautiful to be together, brothers, sisters, family, friends. Hine Matov Manaim, Shever Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manaim, Shever Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matovu Manaim, Shever Achim Gam Yachad. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We begin this service the same way that we have begun every Friday night service since October 7th, which is to keep first and foremost in our mind those of our people who are suffering under captivity. And so I invite everybody who received a small slip of paper, the little one, when you came in with a list of names, please rise. They're going to share the names of the hostages, all of them at the same time, slowly, please, to read each name so that each name can be heard and reverberate in this space as we think of them and their families and the hope of their God-willing soon return. Please, friends, read their names. Thank you all very much. I invite everybody to stay standing, and those of you who are sitting, if you feel comfortable standing together, and turn to this page of paper, please, which you received as you came in, or if it's on your seats. This has the prayer for those in captivity, Tfilah Lipidyon Shavuyim, the prayer for the redemption of the captives. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, hanatunim b'tzara u'v'shivya, ha'omdim bein bayam u'vein bayabasha, hamakom yerachem alehem, ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומאפלה לאורה, ומשעבוד לגאולה, השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, Amen. Together, our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress and captivity, who wander over sea and over land, may God have mercy on them and bring them from distress to comfort, from darkness to light, from slavery to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. I know this little one feels the same way we all do, and that sense of sadness and crying for you. Don't worry, that's not what the next few months are all going to be like. I promise. I've been there recently. Friends, we can have a seat. This is a great opportunity to reach out to somebody sitting near you and wish them a Shabbat Shalom if you haven't done so already. Sue Grohl and Ted Langevin are here to light our Shabbat candles at this very special family occasion. We're on page 120 now in your prayer book, page 120. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlikneh Shel Shabbat. Would you like to come to the microphone?
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. And now you are. And we look forward to seeing that little baby very soon, after a little break. And for the rest of us, we'll begin on page 130 in Kabbalat Shabbat, this mystical service that pastes together these beautiful psalms, praising God and looking to the wonders of creation, which is a really easy thing to do in this space, in my opinion. Page 130. The second part of this song is call and response. Lechu neranena, l'Adonai nariah, letzur yishenu, letzur yishenu. Lechu neranena, l'Adonai nariah, letzur yishenu, letzur yishenu. Nekadma fanav, fanav, betoda, betoda, bizmirot narialo. That part we can sing together. Bizmirot narialo. Let's try one more time. Bizmirot narialo. Nekadma fanav, fanav, betoda, betoda. Together, bizmirot narialo. That's the whole thing. Nekadma fanav, fanav, betoda, betoda, bizmirot narialo. Nekadma fanav, fanav, betoda, betoda, bizmirot narialo. Lechu, lechu neranena, l'Adonai nariah, letzur yishenu, letzur yishenu. Lechu neranena, l'Adonai nariah, letzur yishenu, letzur yishenu. Nekadma fanav, fanav, v'toda, bizmirot narialo. Nekadma fanav, v'toda, bizmirot narialo. Ooh, ooh. All right, and I know we have some people who know some of these tunes, which I always love hearing. I'm going to share now one of my favorites from camp, which maybe some of you also know. We're going to turn the page, and if we look on page 132, at the bottom of the page, we have Or Zarua. The light is sown for the righteous. Or Zarua la tzadik. Or Zarua la tzadik. U'yishrei lev simcha. Third paragraph. Or Zarua la tzadik. U'yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik. U'yishrei lev simcha. U'yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik. Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha. Yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai lai lai. Or Zarua לצדיק, וישרי לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק, וישרי לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק, וישרי לב שמחה. ולישרי לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק, וישרי לב שמחה. וישרי לב שמחה. יאי די 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 די, יאי די יאי די די, יאי די יאי די די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די יאי די די, יאי די יאי די די די. The essence of Shabbat is in an encounter with the people that we love when we feel so frequently like we're swirling around each other during the week sometimes when the week is busy, an encounter with our community. It's nice to be together and to reconnect after a long week, and of course, an encounter with God, a profound encounter, which is easy to talk about and less easy to really feel or experience. It's pretty aspirational, which means that we try to do it, and sometimes it's more successful and sometimes less. But as the medieval poet Yehuda Halevi said, sometimes when we reach out to God, it's enough to feel God reaching out back to us. And in order to get that feeling, we have to at least try. So that's what we do here in Kabbalat Shabbat as we end in the Chadodi, page 138. It's this encounter. It's the medieval tradition of going out into the woods on Friday afternoon, unencumbered, just to find a pure connection through the beauty of nature to the Holy One. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. And on the last verse, we rise and face the entrance to welcome Shabbat into our midst. Yandai da 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 da, yandai da da da, yai da 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 da, yandai da 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 da, yandai da 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 da, yai da da da. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha ishmi'anu Ela meyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet ve'elitila. Hey! Le'echadodi likrat kala penei shava ne'kavela. Lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'neilcha ki hi mekor averacha mirosh mikedem ne'esucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzei מתוך הפך רב לך שבט ומקבך והוא יחמור עלייך חמלה. אליך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך חמלה. Olecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela. Let's hear you. Very nice. We rise now to welcome Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam b'simcha ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה היי לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבה נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה ידעי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די 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 We can have a seat, friends. Is that little baby ready to join us yet, or probably not quite yet? Stall, Rabbi, stall. It's actually okay, because we have one more song to sing right now anyway. It's on page 142. Here at the other end of Kabbalat Shabbat, the angels have come in, we're greeting them, and we're asking for their blessing. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem, come angels. Boachem Leshalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni, which means bless me. Baruchuni Leshalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Leshalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Well, we do, of course, have something very special going on. Sally, do you know what it is? What's special and going on tonight? A baby is here. And is it just any baby, or is it a special baby? Your baby. That's right. It's your baby brother. What do you say? Are you going to help us give a name to your baby brother? I love that. So I'm going to invite you to come along with your mom and dad and your baby brother onto the bima. Okay? This is little Nathaniel. Oh. And you know what? He's already doing better than Levi did, because Levi screamed the whole time. So it's already wonderful.
The moment is young.
The moment is young, exactly. Here, come over here. Let's get settled in this space over here. We have your special talit, right? Okay, so here, we can put that down for now. Thank you. And Solly, you have a special job. Can you hang out with Shabbat Dino? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love seeing that smile. So we're very, very pleased to offer a Hebrew name and a welcome into the covenant for Nathaniel. And Elizabeth and David, we're so glad that you chose to be here tonight to make this special gesture of solidarity with the Jewish community so deeply important and beautiful at such a time as this. and to officially welcome him into the covenant of our people. So, yeah, he's doing a good job. You're doing a good job too. All right. And so the next stage is, of course, to invite grandparents to the bima. So Sue and Ted and Carol and Brian, and I appreciate that you showed your relationship to the baby on your name tag in case anybody forgets. Come up to the bima, please. Does everybody have your script, or do you need a printout? I made extras just in case. One for you and one for you. Okay, come up. Oh, it's lovely to see this family here. All of the people viewing from home are just felling right now, seeing this special. You know, we really love having simchas. We love having smachot to celebrate. Happy things just make us alive. And when you have a speaking role, please come to this microphone and speak into it directly, okay? So we begin with a welcome. Baruch haba, little baby. Welcome. Welcome to you, blessed one. Blessed is he, that is Nathaniel, who enters into the covenant today. Yeah, Jewish life will sometimes be like that. But it also has a lot of joys. Okay, Elizabeth and David, come on over. Oh, please do.
Today we bring our son before the house of Israel so that we may bring him into the covenant which binds all Jews to God in accordance with the custom of our people.
Dino still needs your help, buddy. Dino needs your help. Go close to the mic, you guys.
We give him the gift of tradition, a history of strength and scholarship, of humor and quiet heroism, of love of Torah and love of humanity.
The child need never wonder who he is or where he belongs. He is firmly anchored in love, and his life is forever bound up with the life of his people. May we always help him to remember this.
Thank you.
We give him the gift of unconditional love. This child will always know that his family cherishes him and values him, not only for his achievements, but because he is a unique and beautiful human whose life we are privileged to share.
Thank you. It happens. You're up.
Okay, great. Yeah. We give him the gift of education. We want to share our love of learning with Nathaniel and help him to appreciate the wonderful and fascinating world into which he has come. We also want him to learn of its cruelty and injustice so that he will want to take part in the great task of our people to restore our broken world to wholeness.
We give him the gift of independence. Let our love and care for Nathaniel always be healthy and positive, never stifling or possessive. May we strive to respect and appreciate his uniqueness and teach him to respect this in others.
We give him the gift of a name.
And because you're getting a name, little one, we give you a special blessing along with your name, you sweet one. And we say, Mishaberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, v'yivarech et hanolad v'mazal tov, v'yikra shemo b'Yisrael, Ephraim ben David v'Elisheva. Ephraim. That's your Hebrew name, man. That's your Hebrew name. Can you say Ephraim? Ephraim?
There you go.
Yes. Yes, that was it. Ephraim ben David ve'Elisheva. You're doing great. Both of you are doing great. I'm so proud of both of you. Okay? Ephraim ben David ve'Elisheva. Let the source of blessing who blessed our ancestors bless this little one with this name, Ephraim. A name that goes back to our biblical ancestor, a beautiful name. May his parents find much joy in him, and may life bring blessings to his family, his friends, and to our people, as together we can say, Amen. All right, now would you like to take a moment to explain the name?
We can. Yeah,
You want to try?
We can try.
Here, do you want me to grab Dino from you?
yeah.
Do you want Dino back now? Yeah?
You want to sit with
Okay.
me while I do it? Okay. Dino. Okay. Nathaniel is your first name. You are named. Nope. You are named for my maternal grandmother, Florence. You can say, "Welcome, baby brother."
Welcome, baby brother.
Very nice.
Nathaniel is your first name. You are named for my maternal grandmother, Florence, who we lovingly called Nana for my whole life, and who passed away last May. She had a way of making each of her family members feel so special, including the 5 great-grandchildren she had the opportunity to meet. She was a storyteller, a collector, and a kind, thoughtful, and loving person. We hope you carry on her devotion to family, her sense of humor, and her love of sweet treats. But if you're anything like your older brother, that one will be easy. Your name means God has given. We hope that you express gratitude for the gifts given to you and that you generously share your gifts with your family and with the world. We are so grateful you have been given to us. Sally.
Eliav is your middle name. This name begins with L from your paternal great-grandmother Elaine Kaplan, who raised her children here in New England and always kept her home ready for us to visit.
Then go with Grandpa.
Then go to Grandpa.
Go with Grandpa.
Go to Grandpa.
Go with Grandpa.
The name ends with AV from your maternal great-grandparents Alma and Valmore Langevin, who we imagine sitting next to each other once again as they did for their 64 years of marriage. We chose to name you after multiple great-grandparents to recognize the vast web of circumstances, personalities, and blessings that culminated in you. Nathaniel and Eliav share biblical ancestry, as both were sons of Jesse and brothers to King David. Both personal and biblical meanings intend to signify the importance of family to your life.
Kaplan is your last name. The name Kaplan indicates descent from the priestly lineage, the Kohanim. Like your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather, and his ancestors, your name illustrates devotion and intelligence.
Your Hebrew name, Ephraim, is also for your great-grandmother, Florence. Beyond the sound similarity, both names mean flourishing and prosperous. While she was called Nana and you are called Nate, your souls will be connected through your other names as well. By naming you prosperous, we wish you wealth and personality beyond personal wealth. Regardless of your path through the world, we hope your self-identity flourishes and you stay true to yourself.
In our ketubah, we promise to honor our ancestors and families, treasure, enjoy, and continue the traditions we have inherited, and create a home filled with love and peace, freedom and compassion. It is our deepest wish and our sincerest intention to offer you this. Your names represent your large and blended family. Your name is not directly repeated in our family, for you are your own person. You are unique, like your sibling. We love you for who you are, always and in all ways.
It is a beautiful name and a name that honors family and looks backward and also to the future in hope, which is just the Jewish way to do it. So now Elizabeth and David are going to share this blessing together.
I now have 3 copies of this thing, none of which are mine.
This one.
So, okay. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hakniso b'vritam shel Avraham v'Sarah.
Amen. Blessed are you, our eternal God, whose presence fills creation. You make us holy with your mitzvot. You call us to bring this beautiful son of yours into the Jewish covenant, the covenant of our people. Together, all who have a packet, as he has entered the covenant, so may he be led to the study of Torah, the creation of a Jewish family, and a life abundant in good deeds. That's right. Torah, chuppah, and masim tovim. Those are the 3 we want for both of you boys. We want learning and Jewish connection. We want love, and we want good deeds. Okay? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. You want to take a sip? Bat mitzvah kiddush cup.
When Daddy's done, it's grape juice. Yeah.
It's grape juice. And if you want, you can put a taste of it to his lips. I don't know if the novelty will help.
We'll see if he likes that.
It's an experiment.
We might as well try. Yeah.
That's the Jewish medicine, my friend.
There you go. Okay, that's good. Yep.
Ineffective.
He's more confused than anything.
That's all right. Well,
We tried.
it's always worth it. All right. If baby will put up with 1 minute more, I'm going to wrap you all, your whole family, in this talit. Okay. You too, Sally. Sally, you're doing such a good job right now, paying close attention.
And the real one, and then you can.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So what's the story behind this?
So this is a weaving that my friend made for us for our wedding that we had on our ketubah.
I love it.
On our football.
I love it. So you've got the talit here. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, David.
And when Solly was also wrapped in this during his baby naming as well.
Beautiful. Come on close together, family. Okay. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God shine on you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. May God give you all the best gift of all, the Jewish gift of peace, which I can tell would be especially appreciated right now in your home. And usually this is where I ask if the baby would come to me. I think that is not the right idea for this moment. So maybe later, and we'll all bless together, community. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'echeyanu v'kimanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. Mazel tov. You know, I always say that I love having the sounds of children in this room, because the second we don't have the sounds of children in this room, we're done for. I'm serious. We need these screams. We need these screams in our sanctuary. We also like the happy sounds. We like them even more. Mazel tov, you guys. We continue now in our service with the call to worship. The Baruch Hu is on page 146. Please rise. 146. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. We turn the page 148. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim B'chokhma Poteach She'arim Uvidvuna Meshaneitim Umachalif et Hazmanim Umisader et HaKochavim B'mishmerotehem Barakia Kirtzono Borei Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or Umavir yom umehivi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamidim lo chaleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 151, we read together. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. We can have a seat, friends. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta abam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, uvelechtecha v'aderech, uveshochbecha uvekumecha, ukishartam leot ayadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvihisharecha. Leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liod lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. I'd love a volunteer who could read a little iyun tefillah, a little English intention to bring us into our blessing of liberation. Page 159. Would anybody like to read this in English? You just have to be loud. Please.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished. A gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content. The soldiers home to lead home. The song of the world redeemed. The song.
And here's that song. Yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 mi chamocha b'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh norat tehilot osei fele malechutecha ra'u v'adnecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe malechutecha ra'u v'adnecha bokei hayam lifnei Miriam Zeli anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch leolam leolam va'ed. All together. Yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גא ישראל. Page 160. A blessing for quiet rest and peace at nighttime. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeteinu uvoenu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'adolam. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. A lot of people find the contents of the prayer book to be hard to grapple with in the modern idiom. And a big reason for that is because so many of the metaphors for God are really hard for modern people to connect with. Totally understandable, given that the prayer book is a product of ancient and medieval Judaism primarily, in which the ways to think about forces beyond our power or understanding were things like royalty, kings and queens, and we as peasants. And that imagery doesn't necessarily do it for a lot of people. So in this section of the service, the Amidah, where we have so many, blessed are you, sovereign King, Queen, God of the universe, it's helpful for me always to remember another idea that's, I think, in the Reconstructionist prayer book, but it always just stayed with me, that we can also think about sitting down to schnapps around the Shabbat table with God. Sitting down to schnapps. I don't usually drink schnapps, but the image is just very warm to me. This idea that we can actually not only have to beseech and bow, but sit and roll up sleeves and relax and connect. For me, that is an image of God that feels much more like what Shabbat is trying to direct our hearts to. So what would it feel like for you to imagine yourself in this section of the service having a seat across God, opening the bottle, rolling up the sleeves, and just saying the things that are on your heart because they need to be said. So we'll begin our prayers together. You'll have a moment to say what you need to say, and then we'll end with a meditation. Page 164, please rise 164 for the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. 166. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Vneihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav leHoshia, Mashiv Haruach u'morid Aga Hashem, Mechalkel Chayim bechesed, Mechayei Hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atal hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim v'chol yom yalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We continue in silence through page 180. Please take the time you need for your prayer, and when you are ready, but not before, you may have a seat, of course. Yihiu leratzon imrei fi ve'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri ve'go ali Adonai tzuri ve'go ali. Let's try Yihiu. Yihiu leratzon imrei fi ve'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri ve'go ali Adonai tzuri ve'go ali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Yihiu leratzon imrei fi ve'egyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri ve'ego ali Adonai tzuri ve'ego ali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Yihiu leratzon imrei fi Yihiu leratzon imrei fi. It's our custom here at TBT to offer a Misha Berach, a prayer for healing for those in our community, our families, our friends who are in need of prayers. And so I'll share the names made known to our office, and then you'll have a chance, if you would like, to add folks in your own life who you're praying for. Tonight we pray for our temple members, April D'Amato, Norma Diamond, Josh Lipschitz, Mark Warner, Stacy Reed, Helena Schanzer, and Janice Rosenberg. And also our loved ones, Connie Ambrosino, Steve Bombs, Bob Shapiro, Chris Wilcox, Anna Pakosh, Mickey Bart, Jay Fliss, Mark Ostreicher, Bart Young, Sidney Scher, Matthew Pincus, Debbie Schnurr, Peyton Marino, Joanne Crisulo, Brian Reese, Ginger Kane, Linda Garmisa, Soraya Casey, Roberta Nair, John Van Steenbergen, Kyle Mullins, Greg Imler, Bernice Berger, Keith Siegel, Will Shorts, Saffron Castle, Mark Lynette, Emily Green, Paul Frisman, Bruce Petroff, Ronnie Lustig, Gloria Newell, Sabine Meyer, Edison Goff, Benjamin Meir Ben Ruth, Susan Wolf, Marnie Katz, Kelsey Barker, Ira Weiss, Dan McLaren, Stephen Asnis, Deanna Rosenberg-Garabo, Pat Gribben, Shoshana Bat Sarah Esther. Are there others, friends, who we're praying for tonight? Please. Rick Hamlin? Hamlin. Others? Marta Friedman. Our hearts, of course, are with them in their distress. We pray for their healing of body, spirit. I invite us to turn to our Misha Berach prayer, which can be found on your supplement. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. I was saying to Walter and Esther before the service began that it feels like a funny year to have Purim. Purim starts tomorrow night, and it's this tale of oppression and overcoming and vengeance and really revenge. And it's almost too on the nose in a year like this that its themes cry out to us, and its farcical nature feels almost too much to me. It feels hard. But I'm going to share a little insight that I hope we can take and I hope we will bring into Purim. And I hope those of you who intend to join us tomorrow for the spiel, which will be phenomenal, if I do say so myself, will have something to think about. The story starts for me this week when I went on Facebook. And you know who that one social media friend that you have, who you've kept in your feed or your friend group, even though you're not really friends, and their politics. You know what I mean? And it's just nice to not engage. I keep somebody like this who I don't really know or know anymore, who's a window into, I will call, the extreme left, the very, very far left. And he's a person whose posts challenge really the structures of the nation state, the structures of democracy, the idea of capitalism, the idea of America. And this is how extreme he is. Here's how I know something different was going on this week. Even he posted about his horror at an anti-Semitic event that happened this week. This is a person who is always first to find the fault with the Jewish people. In this moment, a lot of Jews feel like the left has abandoned them because the left has really become under the control of an ideology that only looks at victims and oppressors with no color in between, with no nuance, with no understanding of history or context. It's rather, if you're an oppressor, you're in this bucket, and if you're a victim, you're in this bucket, end of story. Even this guy, who very much is that, looked at the story of Effie's Cafe on the Upper West Side, which some of you I know saw what happened there, and he posted about his horror about it. What happened at Effie's Cafe? Somebody graffitied blood looking on the windows and shutters of the restaurant. It looked like blood dripping, and wrote on the sidewalk in front of it, "Form line here to support genocide." Form line here to support genocide. So this is one thing that anti-Semitism looks like in our time. And when it comes to Israel, the anti-Semitism on the left really comes out. At other times, the anti-Semitism on the right really comes out. But when it comes to Israel, because Israel is seen in this narrative as this colonial oppressor force, the hate directed at Jews is oftentimes coming from the left. Now, I don't know exactly who did this crime, but it caused me to pay special attention to it. It, of course, reminds us all of much more horrific times in Jewish history that nobody wants us to relive. And it definitely made me think and reflect over the last few months and over the last few years that something has changed and is changing about American society. We all know that, but something is changing vis-a-vis Jewish people that the war has definitely catalyzed. And there are lots of thought pieces on this in the New York Times, and there was a cover story in the Atlantic this month. There's so much to read, so many things to think about. But one of the changes is that American Jews, who by and large have been on the left to center left on many political issues, have really felt abandoned by their ideological peers in this time. And given that historically it's been nationalists on the right who are promoting anti-Semitic views and bigotry in this country, since it's coming on the left and the right so strong right now, it kind of feels like, where do you go? What's left? And I think it's making us all ask fairly, what does the future hold? Some of you have, and do I even have I have a couple of examples here. Some of you have heard the stories of what's gone down on college campuses, and I'll share just a couple of examples. After October 7th, the Cornell professor publicly claimed the attack was, quote, exhilarating and energizing. Do you remember that? That guy got sacked, even though he had tenure, which good for Cornell. There was a Columbia professor who called it, quote, awesome and an achievement. And, there are so many videos that circulate on social media of protests at various campuses, students chanting things like, quote, there is only one solution, intifada revolution, which for those of you who do not know, the intifada is an Arabic word which means the throwing off or the uprising, and it refers to protests originally in the late 80s and 90s, but more recently including suicide bombings and other violence against Jews that are designed to maim and murder and destroy Israel. So these, of course, are the true calls for genocide that led to the whole college president debacle about context, and it depends upon the context. And, our college students, when I ask them, sometimes don't feel like this reality represents their reality, which is good. But on the other hand, sometimes I also wonder if we're paying attention quite enough, because these things are going on in college campuses, and they have been for some time. And so what does the future hold in this moment? What do we have to learn from the story of Purim, which starts tomorrow? And that's where I started, of course. And so we're going to go to our favorite character, the great Mordecai, the wise sage behind the hero of Queen Esther, who takes her aside to counsel her about her connection, having ascended the throne, having the ear of the king, and the chance to overcome the harsh decree against the Jews. And I quote now from Esther chapter 4. Mordecai had this message to deliver to Esther. Do not imagine that you of all Jews will escape with your life by being in the king's palace. On the contrary, if you keep silent in this crisis, relief and deliverance will come to the Jews from another quarter, while you and your father's house will perish. And who knows, perhaps you have attained to royal position for just such a crisis. Or sometimes it's translated for such a time as this. Perhaps you have attained your position for such a time as this. And so I think for me what really resonates this Purim is the question of such a time as this. This is definitely the moment where we should be paying attention as strongly or more strongly as any moment in my memory, perhaps in any of our memories. There was a time when I was growing up and the Ku Klux Klan marched right in my old neighborhood or just a town away in Skokie, Illinois. And in those days, it felt like just big headline news that there were Jews who, with the ACLU, supported their right to assemble and protest. It was hugely controversial. I think, for me, that feels quaint because the idea of relying on the Bill of Rights for our safety doesn't feel as much of a guarantee now as it did then. It doesn't feel like we can just lean back on law and allies. These are times that remind us all, I think, of our self-reliance as a Jewish people and the need to not rely on institutions, systems, or laws for our safety, but rather to build relationships with other Jews, with those in our community. So many of you were here when we had a lot of friends here from the First Congregational Church a couple of weeks ago. Those are bonds that we're really working to build within the community. But the extent to which we cloister ourselves off and retreat within does not do us service. I think it's really our job for us to be reaching out, building those relationships, finding allies, telling our story, helping other people understand. Because in a place like this, like Madison and Guilford, they don't really understand, friends. They don't really know what it's like to be a Jewish person, our unique history, the complexity of this moment while this war is still raging. The difference between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism, but the ways that they are very, very frequently conjoined. These are subtle things, hard things. And this is something that I struggle with because I have a child now and I think about this all the time. What do I want him to know, to fear or not to fear as he is growing up? I want to be careful when I'm speaking to our children, our religious school kids about these things. But the truth is that there is more that is required of us at a time such as this, to paraphrase what Mordecai said to Queen Esther. We are resilient as a community. We have somehow managed to overcome so many catastrophes. But we are only as resilient as our relationships, as our, I would call it proactivity, our desire to put ourselves out there and live proudly, to show our kippah in the public sphere, to not be ashamed to intercede when we hear the derogatory remark, to not worry so much about decorum when our people's safety is at stake. The Purim story has a happy ending, but a complicated one. It's the story of almost a farcical and exaggerated revenge on the oppressor, on the enemy, and then peace. I personally wish that peace could come without the killing of 75,000 of Haman's family members, but it's a detail that seems deliberately exaggerated to prove a point, or perhaps to let our hair down and exercise a psychological need for release. And that is such a Jewish thing too. After generations of oppression, sometimes we have to lean on fantasy and farce in order to just have the catharsis to live another day. It says at the end of the book of Esther, "LaYehudim hayta ora v'simcha v'sason v'ikar ken tihilanu." The Jews had light and joy and gladness and honor. so may it be for us. And this is something, by the way, we sing every Saturday night at Havdalah. We sing this verse about light and joy and gladness. Effie's Cafe on the Upper West Side of New York City has a happy ending because in the wake of the defacement, neighbors and owners and friends just came and brought those chemicals, and in their masks they scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed away until there was no sign that any hateful message had ever been written there. But I have a feeling that when my friend who lives just in that neighborhood a few blocks away walks by that restaurant, it will mean something different to her now than it will then. It will take longer than a few moments or days or weeks for the memories of that hate to fade. So we keep our eyes on the future, light, joy, and gladness, while keeping ourselves pragmatic and resilient and vigilant in the present. I think that is our job in this era. And it's a job we should all take very seriously. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Tiyeh. We move now to the conclusion of our service with Aleinu L'Shabeach. I invite us to please rise as we envision a beautiful, redeemed world of the prophet Zechariah, that on that day God's name will be one. Page 586, 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kiguyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. Va'anachnu koreim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamilachim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 591. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. Please be seated, everyone. Our thoughts now turn to those whom we have loved and lost, those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones and those of our friends and neighbors, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to the human family. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We call to mind, of course, all those within the TBT community who are in a period of mourning this day, including the Maurer family. We remember Tim Maurer, brother of Sabrina, and Mark Rabinowitz, husband of Fran. Both Sabrina and Fran are in the period of Shloshim. We also recognize the yortzites of Susan Konigsberg and Henry M. Rothberg, and invite any mourners in our community to please rise and be recognized at this time. If you'd like to share the name of your loved one.
Marjorie Coombs, my mother, David Kaplan's grandmother, Nate, and Solly's great-grandmother.
And I'm sure that Marjorie's presence is especially felt at such a milestone tonight. So thank you.
My brother, Kenneth Slade.
Kenneth Slade. Thank you. You can stay standing, and I'll invite everyone to join in solidarity with our mourners as we hallow God's name with these ancient words, page 598, Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach lireutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye echon u'v'yom echon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv imru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of harmony in the heavens bring peace to our world, bring comfort to the bereaved. As together we say, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Please have a seat, everyone. Donna Fettis is here to greet us on behalf of our board. Thank you for your help tonight, Donna, and welcome.
Great. Shabbat Shalom, and a warm welcome to guests who are here with us tonight. Mazel tov on the baby naming. Very exciting. I'm Donna Fettis. I'm co-chair of programming here at TBT. Join us tomorrow for Torah study at 9 a.m. on Zoom. The link is in your email. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. we'll celebrate Purim with a spiel for grown-ups and teens. May the farce be with you. Enjoy savory snacks and special drinks. On Sunday morning, Rabbi Moss's Israel Reading Group will meet at 11 a.m. and at 11:30, and Salty will lead our annual Purim Carnival. Come dressed with your family. Definitely come dressed. Do you want to chat with Rabbi Moss, ask questions, or hear some bad jokes? If so, you're in luck. Rabbi is holding a pop-up rabbi session in the TBT library from 12:30 to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, March 26th. Feel free to bring your lunch. Also on Tuesday, don't forget to register for Safety and Security's next training for ushers and greeters at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. Information's in your email. And save the date for the TBT Seder dinner on Friday, April 26th. Registration forms are in your email, and you can be here to celebrate as a community. Again, Shabbat Shalom.
And although Donna won't like it, I have to say one more time how appreciative I am, and I think we all are, for a wonderful musician in residence weekend with the Solidker annual musician. It was just such a special weekend of music, and she brought us some great kavanah, some great tunes, some great spirituality, and I have a feeling we're going to be singing her Hashkivenu a lot, because a lot of people liked that one. So thanks very much to you and Jason and Jill and everybody who worked on it. Okay, closing song will have to be a Purim song. So page 673, Chag Purim. Purim Day, a great festive holiday with basks and noisemakers and song and dance. That's roughly the translation. And the thing to remember is when we say Hava Narisha, which means come, let us make some noise, you have to say rush, 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 like the noisemaker, like the Grager, okay? So it goes like this. Hava Narisha, rush, rush, rush. Hava Narisha, rush, rush, rush. Hava Narisha, rush, rush, rush. Baharash anim. Okay, let's bring it a little lower, I think. Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zmiro Richudim. Hava Narisha, rush, rush, rush. Hava Narisha, rush, rush, rush. Hava Narisha, rush, rush, rush. Barashanim. I'm sorry Solly's not in here to appreciate the Rosh, Rosh, Rosh. I'll have to sing that afterwards with him. Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zmiru Rikudim. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Ma'arashanim. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Barashanim. Friends, Boachem l'shalom utzeitchem l'shalom. As you came here in peace, may you leave also in peace. May you have a Shabbat shalom and a beautiful weekend. And please join us right next door, right now, for Kiddush and Motzi and a very lovely oneg. Thank you very much for sponsoring the oneg in this special occasion. Sue and Ted, thank you very much. So let's all go. Shabbat shalom. Let's make Kiddush.